Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. All right, for all of those of you who have been screaming, "We want more Rusty! We want more Rusty!" Brought Rusty out. He kept walking over to the truck, so I threw him up here so he could see what's going on, and he's all confused. Everything's gone, right? Everything's gone. What's going on? Yeah. He just doesn't understand. Where are my bowls? There will be more Rusty at the end. All right, so stand by for that. Yeah, demolition process. I got a little ahead of myself. It's not completely over, but there's more done. I don't know if you can really see there on the back wall. Show my light back there. Yeah, the vinyl is down off of there, and I took the insulation out. And that white you're looking at back there, that is the inside of the fiberglass that's painted on the rear side. So that's the rear wall right there. That's it. This is why I'm pushing out only through the top back, because the majority of the area up there is just that really thin fiberglass that's going to be easy to cut out. Well, I got a little optimistic about how far I was in the demo process. There's still more. I did get the vinyl off of the back wall there. Good news is, pull back the insulation. That's the rear wall. Right there. It's just fiberglass, not that thick. So this is going to be the easy part to pull down. There is some sort of a support here in the middle, but I think it's just a fiberglass support right here. It's going to be easily cut out. What actually is being the bane of my existence right now is this damn tray. This is what was holding my my mattress, which is now outside of the truck. It's attached to the rear wall, you can see right there, to that black part above, which is kind of a hinge. Okay? If I lift it up, it's got the same little dampers on each side that I dealt with the upper bunk. Remember, I had to go buy that special bit. I still have that for that nut or bolt or whatever you want. That would be a nut, I guess, on the inside there. So I've got that covered. And it looks like the rear hinge area, if I can focus in on it right, there we go, just unscrews from those three going across. The problem is, see, there are lights built in underneath here. So I can't just pull this thing apart completely. I gotta see, I did get that one light out of its little housing, and the wire runs below it. This is where you can't just rip crap out. You gotta do it carefully. So I've got to find, there is a switch that turns these on when you lift it, and you can see back there is where it goes down and connects with other wires. So I gotta be real careful at this point. So I've decided I'm gonna leave that tray in place for a couple of reasons, because if I pull it out right now, then I'd have to deal with the wiring part of it, and plus that gives me something to stand on, raises me up about 13-14 inches to help cut through that back wall, which of course we'll be doing tomorrow. All right, I know it's hard to tell by looking at it, but I did pull out the old shop vac. Took me a while to find it, but tried to vacuum up a lot of that dust, especially that was way back there in that corner. Remember how bad that was? So tried to vacuum up as much as I could, especially down around there in front of the bunk and stuff. The floor is just dirty below where that was just a piece of carpet that was just laying there on each side. That's why that painted floor area is not that good. Pulled up the carpet. This is the pad below it. Got to pull this rail apart to get the rest of that out. And we're going to be redoing the side panels there and there in the newer carpet so everything will match. But yeah, I did clean up as well as I could with just the vacuum. I got to come in here tomorrow. I'm going to wait until I cut out. So tomorrow we are cutting. All right, for those of you wanting to know. We're going to start cutting through the wall tomorrow. But then I'll come out with a bucket of water with Lysol in it and some rags. And I'm just going to be wiping everything down. So the last bit I'm going to do tonight is, I showed you, I think in one of the previous videos, that little seatbelt kind of net, kind of web thing back there that hangs off of there. So if you're in a team driver situation, somebody can legally be belted in while they're back there sleeping. I'm going to be taking that down. It's the bolts that hold up the whole straps and everything are covered by these little you know, covery things. I don't know what you'd call it. I'm sure they have a name. They're probably like the Blenford covers or something like that, you know, because some guy named Blenford invented them. I just call them the little rubbery covery things. So I'm just going to pull out my little handy-dandy Craftsman ratchet set. I keep this one on the truck all the time. I love this one because this has those pass-through sockets. So if you have a really long bolt sticking through, you can still get this down around the nut. I really like that. Just got to find the right size, and we'll start taking those things off the wall, and where they attach down there on the wall, and to this tray. Now this is kind of interesting. See, they have that little spacer on them that was in there because it's going through the, you know, padded part of the wall there. So it had a little spacer so it wouldn't push that whole padding part all the way in. Okay, got the all the bolts holding the whole belt system off of the wall up there, off of the wall down there. And they were also attached to the bunk part here with these, so you could stick the belt into it. And that was mounted right there, got those out. So now the whole belt thing can completely come out. I'm slowly getting a big collection of bolts here on the dash. These I had to pull out, like I said, they had spacers in them. So, like before, like when I did the cabinets on the wall, I'm going to reuse these. So if not using the same exact bolts, I'll be using the same hole, so I want the same size, just maybe longer. So I can install like a 2x6 along the wall here using these supports that, you know, they had to be strong enough to hold somebody in a crash if they're sleeping. So they got to be able to hold up my upper bunk system, along with all my other brackets I'll be able to use here. Like these here on the wall, these bolts, that bracket, this with the support across the back. I'll be able to use the ones on the side, and there's even some on the floor I can use. So my whole system will be held up with what already exists on the truck, and that's the beautiful thing. Also pulled these curtains down. They used to be way up there. They went all the way from the top down to the floor. The purpose of those was then if you wanted to leave your, you know, windshield and area and all that open, you could just pull this curtain across between your driver area and your sleeper area. I never used those. I just pulled them down. I'm going to use the vinyl to wrap some of the wood so everything will match the vinyl, the button vinyl on the walls. This is how it's going to look so professional when it's done that you won't believe it. So just a real quick update tonight, just to kind of let you know where I am in the project here. Somebody did suggest in the comments that with the shortages on supplies and everything, especially like sheet metal and stuff, and since I had mentioned I'm going to be using a diamond plate skin for the entire rear box that's going to stick out back there, that I might want to go ahead and see if I can find that now. And that's a really good point. So as soon as I'm done making the video tonight, I'm going to be going online and seeing who anywhere near me has some of that stuff. It's probably going to be down in Denver. So whatever they have at each store, I'm going to need quite a few pieces of this stuff. I'll go ahead and order, and then I may have to run down there tomorrow night and pick this stuff up, because once I cut through and then I can start building the whole foundation for the project and the main part sticking out the back, I'll be finishing off the box up there first, you know, with insulation and everything, before I really start finishing off the cabinets and everything and this platform inside. So that's going to be coming up before a lot of the inside stuff. So I want to make sure it's on hand, and if it's not on hand, that I can get it, you know, within a reasonable amount of time. So thank you for that suggestion. All right, that's it for tonight, being, what, the 4th of October here, Monday night. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please comment and like if you'd like to. Only if you'd like to. I get your comments usually within a day or so right now while I'm doing this project. Clutch Trucker on Instagram and Twitter. Again, I haven't put anything on that recently, but, you know, I will put some short little vignettes on there in a little bit. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty coming up here in just a second. Out. Oh, Procalasa, thank God you're here. Okay, it's now time for Edwina to enter Miss Hoskins. Oh, enter Miss Hoskins. Alright, I've had so many requests for more footage of Rusty, so promised I'd take some video of Rusty today. Oh, there goes the school bus. That means my son Ben's coming home. Of course, they drive right by the house. They drop them off way over there. Does that make any sense? I tell you. Anyway. So, to fulfill the Rusty followers, there's happy little Rusty running around.